the shadows lie. Grip the handle, feel the engines roar. Freedom ain't a dream, it's the open door. Ride the storm, feel the thunder break. Cut the change and let the earth quake. Born to run, born to never fold. Heart of fire, soul of untamed gold. Night's a beast, it devours.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Australian NASCAR Truck Series. We're at The Rock, Nigel. The Rock, Nigel. It's going to be an amazing race here tonight. Over halfway through the season tonight. After tonight, Nigel, we got 3 more races to the chase, we could call it. The chase to the championship. It's a little bit different here tonight. Going to see the top side come in, the bottom, the middle, and then obviously going into pit lane under green flag conditions.
Good evening, Dylan. Good evening, everyone. And good evening to Wesley. I'm filling in for him tonight. Good luck, buddy. We better get to the grid straight away because these cars are just about to take off.
Starting at position number 1 is going to be Scott Rankin with Joshua Houghton on his outside. Row number 2 will be Zach Kerr and Kute Dow running out your row number 2. Row number 3 will be Keith Hackney, and Tyler Williams is going to start outside row number 3. Row number 4 in 7th position is going to be Sam Chapman, and 8th making his first start in the Australian NASCAR Series is going to be Sam Wright, Angus Lawford, and Brad Newman round out P number 9 and 10.
Number 11, Aaron Borg in the 43 on P number 12, Trent Laval for AWR Australian Wide Racing. Coming out of row number 7, P13, Dave Douglas, and his outside is Matt Danson, the ANC champion from 2025. Position 15, Josh Mickelmore for Nitro Racing with Adam Gray on his outside there on P16. P17, Andy Barber from Southern Stars. P18 is Nitro Racing's hot Jason Holdsworth. And your 10 rows tonight, Fitzroy Beaumont for Vermilion Esports and David Lawler from Project 36.
Starting inside row number 11 is going to be Gary Wellman with Logan Keys making his debut start on the outside. Row number 12 and 23rd is going to be Ryan Barber and Riley Curtis in 24th position. Row number 13 and 25th is going to be Dave O and Tom Freer in 26th. Row 14 in 27th is going to be Jackson Barry. In 28th is going to be Tim O. Blundell. 29th and 30th is going to be Ben Faulkner and Chris Bleakley, running out your top 30.
Brad Wright, Aaron Dorman, Jamie Davis, Brendan the Cooch, Griffith, Kelvin Clark, and Matt Danson rounds out your field tonight. We better get ready to go green. Pace cars off.
Get ready to drop the first green flag of the night. Already going to see the action start off the green flag side by side. Going into turns number 1 and 2 for the first time tonight. Getting all the way up to full song. 200 laps going to be the race distance. And already Scott Rankin going to be able to get past Joshua Houghton for the race lead He's going to lead him off into turns number 3 and 4, but a little bit of a bobble down on that inside. He's going to relinquish the race lead over to Joshua Houghton as he's going to be looking to get passed for third place by Zach Kerr.
Inside line is the optimal line around here. If you want to be on that inside as much as you can, get down to that white line to save as much tyre as you can. This place is very bad on tyres. You'll probably be looking to, 30 to 35 laps. We got a crash in the back there with the 99 of Tyler Williams.
Yellow.
Will there be a caution? Yep, the caution is out.
First caution on the speedway, and look how quick Scott Rankin ended up losing that lead, dropped all the way back to 4th position. But what we caught with Tyler Williams coming off of turns number 3 and 4, as we get a CT electrical replay. Thanks for coming on board. As got loosed all by himself, ended up coming down in front of Samuel Wright. He's going to go back up towards the outside wall, lock him down, goes right into pit road, and hit the tow button. A little bit of memorabilia coming off that number 99 machine. So if anybody wants some memorabilia off that number 99, he's selling it for $30 down on the pit road. But you can see there, Nige, just going into the corner and just broke loose. Not sure exactly what happened to that number 99 machine, but being on that outside, not a lot of grip.
Looks like he just went into turn number 3 there, a little bit too hot. And right when you're up on that outside line as well, it can come around on you very, very quickly. Cars down pit road at the moment. Looks like there's a Project 36 car heading down there as well. The 44 as well heading down to pit road as well.
Yeah, kind of getting maybe a little bit of the damage fix. I know a couple of the trucks there in that first incident got caught up in it, but hopefully not a lot of damage for a lot of these trucks. Is already that Project 36 machine in and out as quick as he could. Again, 200 laps the race distance here tonight. Stages are going to be a big what if on the leaderboard here tonight. 45 laps the first stage. The second stage is going to be another 45 laps. And then, Nigel, we got a 110-lap stage to the finish. Pit road is going to be a very busy place, at least once or twice all the way through as we get ready to bring up the standings after Talladega. And as it sits right now, Nigel, Keith Hackney is your season season leader as of right now, 203 points. And then you got Dave O, 162 in second. Both Nitro drivers leading the way. Lobs Esports, Brad Newman, 103. And then more all the way down. But that red line where we're talking about with everything coming to an end, Scott Rankin currently is sitting 2 points to the good over Aaron Borg. So after tonight and the next 4 races, it's going to get extremely spicy across for the top 12.
You look at that from 13th to 20th as well. Look at all those cars there, all fighting to get themselves into the chase with only 3 rounds to go before the chase does begin. Quickly there, we see once again from 13th to 20th, not much in it, as the pace car is just about to head off, and we're going to have another green flag is going to drop. These cars are going to head into that corner there and see corner number 1, see what we're going to turn 1, corner 1. What's going wrong with me tonight?
Yeah, you see there, Joshua Houghton got a really good restart on that bottom lane. He's going to not have that wheel spin that Rockingham produces. He's going to be able to get single file, top 3, single file all the way through turns number 1 and 2. And 4th and 5th going to be side by side as they go down in turns number 3 and 4. Sam Chapman on that outside, Keith Hackney on the inside, but nobody wanting to give up that track position. Clean air is definitely going to be key for a lot of these drivers. The new aero package for the truck. You can get a little bit tight going into the corners if you're following right directly behind the truck in front of you. So making sure that you get a little bit of air on that front bumper is definitely going to be key to keeping that truck is planted down on the racetrack as best as you possibly can.
Well, so far as well as the biggest move is Ben Faulkner's up 14. Dave O, he's up 12 at the moment as we see the battle up the front there with Keith Hackney now into the top 5 there as well with Aaron Borg. Scott Rankin now back into 3rd positions after starting on pole tonight, but watch out for Brad Newman in the 7 and the 1 car. And the other car as well, the 55 of Kuday Tao. He had some great runs in the officials this week. Watch for him to come through the field as well.
Yeah, and, Nigel, we don't really give these drivers praise like we do,
Car
with
around.
all the
Trouble.
officials that go around the week. So a lot of these drivers get to have that uh, practice throughout the entire week, and then once Thursday hits, that's when the actual show starts. But our second caution of the night, as it
52.
was the 52 of Angus Lawford. Believe he just got a little bit loose going into the corners, maybe had a little bit of a help, but looking back at the CT electrical replay, going to see exactly what happens. We're on the front stretch, getting ready to go down in turns number 1 and 2. They're going to be side by side. Jason Holdsworth, Josh McElmore. Oh, just a little bit of
Whoa.
contact. Nice little Tokyo drift around at turns number 1 and 2. He's just going to give the wall just a little bit of a kiss. Not much to it, as he's going to be able to keep that truck as straight as he possibly can. As get ready to go back to green flag racing.
I'm just surprised that's actually brought out a caution, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah. I mean, he kept it straight. He kept it completely straight, or maybe iRacing thought that he was going to come back down across the field. So, that is just one thing that iRacing does is Angus Lawford into pit lane this time by. Same with Matt Danson. Yeah, the number 30 machine. He's going to go down into pit lane as well. So Tom Freer going to follow, and a couple more trucks going to go ahead and follow. So I wonder if this is a little bit of a strategy move, fueling up just with some fuel, saving the tires for when they really need them, or maybe if they have a little bit of damage from that first yellow flag of the night.
I think this would be a strategy call. Keep putting fuel in the car, head to the back of the field. You've got 2 more stages to come yet, and if you can stay down the back, save some fuel when it starts to come into the third and final stage, you can start making your way up to the front. As we're on lap 11 of 200 as well. 3 sets of tyres, these guys are over the wall tonight. So the set that they start on, and they get 3 in pit lane during the race as well. So far, Josh Hodge has led most of the way, Dylan. It's a Vermilion domination so far, 1 and 2, 6.
Yeah, I was actually just looking at that too. You get the Vermilion Esports driver lineup there on the bottom right of your screen. Joshua Houghton in P number 1. And then you got Zach Kerr in 2nd, 6th, 14th, and 26th position for the Vermilion Esports drivers. And then you got your Ford drivers currently sitting 1, 10, 13, 15, 19, 20, 26, and 28. I do believe, though, if I'm not mistaken, I think the only Dodge Ram is going to be Keith Hackney, unless he's back in a Toyota. Keith Hackney's actually back in a Toyota, so no Dodge Rams out there tonight. We have a way more Toyotas out there, Nigel, than we do Chevys and Fords.
Well, that's a good thing. I don't mind Toyotas. It's what I drive every day is Toyota. Pace cars off.
Green's out. Green flag. Green flag.
Going back to green flag one more time. Bottom lane going to be able to get the better launch off the inside. But now it's going to just, instead of the second restart where the top 3 were single file, now it's the race leader going to be single file. But here comes Matt Danson. Not sure what happened to Danson. Must have just came out of pit lane, and that's going to cause chaos into turns number 3 and 4. He came out right in front of the race leaders. He kept it low, but then cycled right in front of Brad Newman. He had to check up going into turns number 3 and 4. And look at all the beautiful trucks going down through turns number 1 and 2. Nice little flyby action here as one gets up in the outside wall. That was a Project 36 entry, as he was able to keep it straight. And one thing that I don't like about Rockingham, Nigel, is when you hit that wall in the backstretch, it slingshots you off down towards the inside. So a lot of these guys not wanting to hit that wall and have somebody below them. Otherwise, it could create a massive pileup down the backstretch.
That it can, and also too, you want to try to save your tyres as much as you can, because if you get out of that groove later on in the run when those tyres get a little bit older, you're going to hit any part of the wall. You can be seeing Davo on the inside there, currently 13th position at the moment, up 12 positions from where he started there in the 311, making the pass on the inside there at Ben Falk from Million Esports.
Yeah, he's trying to make that pass, gets it done going into turn number 3 and 4. He kind of shifted off in there to get that pass done. As we look on board at Dave trying to get around more traffic, but he's got side by side in front of him. And then right in front of, I believe that is Josh Micklemore or Riley Curtis, there's another side by side situation, but we're looking off the back bumper of Aaron Borg, who's got Matt Dancing right behind him, who's a lap down. It's not the end of the world for Matt Dancing. Granted, we have 2 stages to get through before we can crown tonight's race winner. Matt Dancing definitely going to be one of those drivers that can get back on the lead lap and see if he just can't get up there towards the front once again. But already, Nigel, you're seeing single file. Everybody's kind of getting into their rhythm, getting into the groove. And you're definitely going to see, as this run goes on, who's saving their tires and who's not.
Oh, that's correct there, Dylan. Sorry. that's exactly right. With these stage breaks as well, you really want to, you'd have to have at least one stage where you've got to use the same set of tyres, I would have thought, so you've got 2 sets in the third and final stage, because if you get that green white checker, it could be something that could be a card that you could play as well. Just also too out there in the YouTube chat and the Facebook, if you're out there watching at the moment, let us know in the comments where you're watching from. Shout out to who's your favourite driver, and also make sure you like and subscribe to our Facebook and YouTube page as well. All the support, so then at least you'll know when the next race is on live. You'll get a notification, and you won't miss any of the action of the Australian NASCAR Truck Series.
As we look here, Zach Kerr getting a really good run down to that inside. He was side by side with his teammate of Joshua Houghton on that outside. Both Vermilion Esports drivers going toe to toe. Not going to be able to make the pass on the number 080 as they're going to be back down to single file. Zach Kerr thinking smart. Couldn't get the pass done. He backed out of it. And now he's going to sit back in P number 2. Keith Hackney making his way up to P number 4. Second, Zach Kerr. Third is going to be Scott Rankin. Scott Rankin, annual pole sitter here tonight at The Rock. He dropped back as low as 4th, back up to 3rd position, and now he's just kind of riding. Same with Keith Hackney. Started in kind of mid-top 10, working his way up there. He's currently sitting at P number 4, kind of sitting around. Doesn't want to use up the majority of his tires this early in the run. Brad Newman trying to make his way up towards the front and try to get that cleared out.
As we see a big run on board here with Brad Newman there in the Lobs number 1 car, the champion from last season. Looking for a win. Desperate for that win in that number 1 car. Will that be tonight here at Rockingham? Brad is very strong at the short track, so we head to Bristol next week, which he will be probably favourite for to win that one, as we see battle for the lead here.
Yeah, battle for the race lead once again in that outside lane. Nigel just kind of uses that as a defense line. It's sort of like Auto Club. You know, you get the driver down to your inside, but the amount of momentum that you can carry on that outside just helps you push along and around the bottom car, going around the easier way across the inside. But the one thing that Zach Kerr really has to pay attention to and be really leery of is getting extremely loose coming off the outside in turns number 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4 is a little bit of a bobble down on that inside for Joshua Houghton. Now they're going to be side by side once again, and here comes Keith Hackney. He's going to be side by side with Scott Rankin. He's going to be able to get that pass done. 2 passes in 1 corner. Keith Hackney moves up to 3rd. Zach Kerr moves up to the lead position, and now Keith Hackney trying to get down to speed number 2 as a little bit of contact between Sam Chapman and Bad Brad as they were able to get it all single filed and get it all sorted out going into turn number 1 and 2.
I'd lucky to get through that one there. Big lot of cars behind him as well. Also, too, quick shout out to Wesley, who's not with us tonight. He's He's on Real Race Life commentary duties. You can catch him on Saturday morning and Sunday morning here in Australia on Fly Racing in West Virginia. Big shout out to Wesley, and we'll see him back on the airways here on Tuesday night. Oh, Keith
Look at the
Hackney.
run. Keith Hackney with a beautiful run down to the inside, had to back out of it at the last second. Joshua Houghton noticed the run that he had. He gave him the room. Smart move. Moved Keith Hackney up to P number 2. And now is Zach Kerr, now that he's in the race lead, is he going to burn up his tires? Or is he going to kind of set the pace of what he wants it to be? Because right now he's in a different area code with only lap number 30 out of 45 in the first stage.
Well, the last lap on the racetrack here was 24.119 for Zach Kerr, 24.373 for Keith Hackney. So about 0.2 of a second of a lap quicker there for Zach Kerr over Keith Hackney at the moment.
You know, I think with this late stage of the race, I mean, you got 15 laps to go in stage number 1. I think right now, wherever you are, you're going to try to push a little bit further to see if you just can't get any more stage points, right? But how far are you willing to push it? We already know Bad Brad is going to be pushing it as hard as he can. He's still searching for that first race win of this season, trying to add on to his total of victories. He's going to try to be the first person in the Australian NASCAR Truck Series to hit 20 victories. He's got 16, so one more. He only needs 3 to be the more victorious driver in the series. And then Matt Danson getting around Bad Brad, not for position, just trying to hurry up, get up there towards the front and see if he just can't unlap himself before the end of the stage. But back here towards the back, Nigel, we got a little bit of some controversy
Big
as we
crash.
had a yellow.
Aaron Dorman.
Oh no, not the doorman.
Big crash. Heavy damage on the 253.
We get another replay here by CT Electrical. We're going to see Aaron Dorman come off the corner. Oh, is it a 3-wide situation? Oh, yeah, 3-wide situation. Oh, and Aaron Dorman, nowhere to go, locks him up. Chris Bleakley gets involved. Heavy in contact on the back bumper of that number 253 up on the outside wall. Luckily, motor not exploded on that number 253. He's able to get back into pit lane, but not what they wanted to see. Aaron Dorman, you see it there, got a little bit loose off the corner, maybe even tight. Had to move Gary Wellman down to the inside, and Chris Bleakley had such a major run, tried taking it down to the inside, and ended up catching another 2 drivers.
I don't see cars coming down pit road. If they do, they're only coming down to put fuel only in, or there may be some cars that come down and try to flip the stage as well. But these guys up the front, they're going for stage points, so they will not be going down the back at this very moment, especially with only 10 laps to go before the stage ends.
Yeah, I think right now with only 10 laps to go in the stage, I think track position is going to be key going into the second stage. You know, obviously stage points are going to mean a lot more to a lot of these drivers. And last season we didn't have stages. This season we do have stages. So stage points mean a lot. The more stage points you have, the better off you're going to do in the chase for the championship here on Thursday nights with the Truck Series. But it's all Zach Kerr with the race lead, Keith Hackney in P number 2. And that's somebody that did not want to see that caution. That's going to be Zach Kerr, because now he's got a Keith Hackney. We've seen how Keith Hackney likes to save his tires, and then all of a sudden, he's quicker than the leader and passing you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. So we're going to see what these 2 juggernauts of these drivers are going to do up here in the top 2 positions. Zach Kerr is going to be able to take the inside lane, and then Keith Hackney up on the outside.
Watch also for the charging Ben Faulkner and Dave O as well. They're both up 19 and 20 spots.
Yeah, Dave-O already up to P number 6 as it sits. And then Ben Faulkner up to 9th. So biggest movers of the race so far is Dave O and Ben Faulkner up 20 and 19 positions. Brandon Chooch Griffith up 14. Jackson Berry up 14. Jamie Davis is up 12 positions, as you see there at the bottom right of your screen. Is Pace Truck going to lead these drivers back around this one last time? We're going to drop the green flag one more time in this stage, hopefully. And I'm kind of curious to see how much wheel spin is going to play a factor now that we've had almost 40 laps under green and yellow flag conditions. But see how much that tire wear has really changed off
Green
of
flag,
these
green
drivers.
flag.
As going back to green flag, and it's Keith Hackney. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Keith Hackney had that wheel spin going into second to third gear. That's going to move Scott Rankin up to second, and here comes Bad Brad and Dave O on the inside, keeping them up to the outside. Zach Kerr with the race lead, but Scott Rankin was looking for a little bit more.
Inside there, Brad on the outside. Keith Hackney coming out of turn number 4. Now Scott Rankin is also in second. Now who can remember what happened in the truck race only a couple of weeks ago at Darlington? There was also an incident during the week in the X Series race between them two. So let's see how these guys go here. We might see another good racing, good entertainment for those watching at home.
Yeah, you see there, did Brad Newman got all over the back bumper of Scott Rankin trying to get him loose. Did not ruffle his feathers at all. Now Bad Brad's got Keith Hackney down to the inside. The Georgia boy trying to take that position away. He's going to not be able to get clear, but here comes Bad Brad on the outside. Not going to be able to get clear going into turns number 3 and 4, but here comes Dave O. Oh.
Fred Laval's involved as well.
We look at the replay here. Oh.
Oh. 136 to 36. It's a little like the 36. Looks like the 36 was loose coming out of 2, Dylan.
Yeah, it looked like Chooch was a little bit loose coming out of the. Yeah, there it is. There's the looseness. Trelevell tried going up to the outside and not tap him. He ended up getting him just a little bit. And I mean, at that point, you're kind of committed to whatever line you're going to be able to run. But with all that smoke coming around that number 36 machine as he's sliding backwards, just the other Project 36 machine just could not see exactly where. I believe that was David Lawler.
David
That
Lawler.
ended up
Cars will
getting
come down
involved.
pit road too there, Dylan. Cars will come down, so they're looking to flip the stage. I think we'll get 1 or 2 green flag laps in before the stage ends.
Heavy contact for the number 136. So the only driver to stay out, I believe, was Zach Kerr.
So
Zach Kerr's. Okay. Zach Kerr, Scott Rankin, and Brad Newman. So
Top 13
top
haven't
12.
started, haven't pitted yet.
All right, so are we going to see more wheel spin? We've seen it on the outside lane with the wheel spin, with Keith Hackney trying to get up through the gears. I mean, if you get a nice and clean restart on that outside lane, you should be able to keep up with the race leader. But on the restarts, the race leader's got the opportunity to go as soon as he hits that restart box. He can go any time in that restart box. So trying to time these restarts for that leader is nearly impossible unless, you get your teammate on that front row with you or right behind you. You can kind of count them down and help them get that little bit of a jump start on 3rd and 4th.
Let's see how this restart goes as well. We'll also, Brad's just behind Zach Kerr there. Let's see what happens in the restart. You don't want those front cars to spin your wheels because you'll go flying into them and you'll get heavy damage yourself, which will be something that you definitely wouldn't want. So let's see what the restart brings.
There we go into the restart zone. Scott Rankin, big wheel spin. He gets out of the way. That's going to put Keith Hackney down to the inside. They're going to be side by side now for position number 3, but Brad Newman all over the back bumper of Zach Kerr. These two drivers side by
3-4-3.
side. A little bit of a spin in the back. That's going to bring out a caution. Oh, big contact by the number 19 in the 343 of Logan Keys.
Looks like Logan Keys went around and Brad Wright went flat down into the back of him.
Get a nice little replay here. See exactly what happened. Tom Freer and the 343 getting involved in this one. He's right on the outside. Tom Freer kind of just drifted up just a little bit too much. Connected with a 343. He's going to keep it down. He's got it locked up. Timo Blundell getting involved. Dave Douglas barely missing the back bumper of that number 343. If we get another beautiful camera looking above, we're going to see exactly what happened to Blundell. He's going to come into screen here, see exactly what happens. Oh, he gets turned. Not sure by who. I believe that was Jamie Davis. Yeah, Jamie Davis. So he sees the wreck. He's going to check up. Oh, man. From the Shadow Realm comes the number 92 on the back bumper of that number 86.
Few drivers stayed out at the moment. Adam Gray, Fitzroy Beaumont, Jackson Barry, the Cooch, Griffith, Kudadow, Ryan Barber, all stayed out. Gary Wellman. Then Brad Newman was the first car off pit road that pitted. So he will be the one to watch out for coming through the field at the start of stage 2.
Yeah, get ready to start stage number 2. That last caution did, in fact, end the first stage. So Zach Kerr was able to get the stage win over Brad Newman and Keith Hackney. But it was all Brad Newman beating them all out of pit lane. And there he goes. Brad Newman's currently sitting P number 8. So not a big deficit for the drivers that stayed out front, but now with the drivers from positions 1 through 7, they got a little bit older tires over the drivers from 8th on to 35th. Now it comes into play of, okay, got to be a little bit more patient. Kind of let's pick and choose where to pass these drivers at. Don't want to be overzealous and cause a quick caution, especially this far up towards the front of the field.
Correct. We'll see how the first time Adam Gray's beat up the front for a restart in the 57. So good air time for the 57 car. Let's see what happens here on the restart. Look for Brad Newman, the first ones who did pit on the outside, to come through the field to see what he can do as well. A massive lineup of trucks behind. We're going to go back to the stage number 2.
Green flag.
Green flags in the air. We are all away again, Dylan.
Yeah, all the way away. Big wreck in the back. Sam Chapman involved. Josh Micklemore. I know Jason Holdsworth was involved. There he goes through the grass. Oh, man, what about a calamity restart here? Go to see exactly what happened. Maybe somebody miss a gear? Oh,
Look
big checkup down on that inside. Big checkup, and then
look for Keith Hackney. Go on board with Keith Hackney. I think that was where it was. Keith at the moment is in P11.
Exactly. Oh, he tried he tried timing it. But is somebody in front of Keith and Zach Kerr? There we go. We got a nice little Okay, so if you look at fourth position, he's keeping a little bit of distance off the front bumper. And then fourth, sixth, and eighth are nose to tail. So when they start going, they just go to accordion effect. And you can see it all the look at all the bottom lane drivers. They're all accordion effect already. And then they start going, and yeah, it just creates a recipe for disaster. And there you see it. Everybody just kind of dip, dodge, diving and dipping around trying to get away from it as Sam Chapman gets pushed across start finish line, and then Josh Micklemore goes a little do around in on the front stretch.
So, no cars coming down pit lane. We're going to try this again. A few cars down pit lane already. Brad Wright, Angus Lawford, Trent Lavelle. And also, too, remember, Matt Danson's got all of his laps back. He was 2 laps down. He's now back inside the top 15.
Yeah, so that's definitely something to watch out for. You know, Matt Danson, one of those drivers that is looking for a race win here as well. It's been nothing but Keith Hackney, Dave O, and Gardner Griffin getting race wins. The only other race win by Gardner was at the Lonesome Road Course so far of the season before we go over to Sonoma. But it's all been Keith Hackney and Dave O ever since. And everybody else trying to dabble in a race win. Brad Newman looking for his first race win of the season. I know he's got some tracks circled on the map here coming up, especially Bristol next week. We'll see that on Highline HQ over on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and X. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, follow. Make sure to turn on all bell notifications so you guys don't miss anything that Highline has to offer. But Base Truck going to dive down into pit lane to start stage number 2, hopefully officially off this restart. As green is getting called off one more time, so we're going to get another lap around as everybody going to take advantage. They're towards the back. They're going to take advantage of that, Nigel. They cause that delayed yellow. They're going to go down into pit lane, top off, get some more damage fixed, and get back out there on the racetrack.
That's smart thinking. Delayed the green, go back in, fix the damage up. Go back out there now. Bit more fuel than what these guys have got as well, which will be a thing. Also, too, just before we go green, Dylan, a quick shout out to the guys of the iRace ANZ chat show that they showcased the series last night on their live show. We'll put a link to their show in the Discord, or if anyone would like it in the YouTube chat or anything like that, or Facebook chat, just let us know and we'll put the link up there. So a quick shout out to those guys who showcased the series last night very unexpectedly. I didn't know it was happening.
I'd definitely like to see the exposure that the Australia NASCAR Truck and Xfinity Series is getting, and getting a lot more drivers out there in the open world. As green flag going back out, this time by a much more cleaner start. Everybody going to go down in turn number 3, 1, and 2. They're already 3 wide in turn number 1 and 2. Brad Newman on the outside, and he's going to be able to get around as Tom Freer coming out of pit lane and already having a caution off of turns number 1 and 2 as we get ready to see the CT electrical replay one more time as looking at the number 136. Believe here. Oh, hard contact for the number, was that the 22 that got in the wall? That maybe scared a lot of people. Trent Lavelle getting involved. The 136. Oh, Keith Hackney barely missing that spinning truck of David Lawler in the 136. Yeah, you see there, Chris Bleakley. Yeah, Chris Bleakley goes hard on the outside wall. And I think that kind of scared everybody else. Not sure if he was going to bounce off the wall, go down, and then David Lawler getting the bump from Trent Lavelle. And that CT Electrical, number 6'7", getting a little bit of contact as we get another look. Beautiful shot. Well, the number 67 down to the inside. Oh, he left the hole. Kind of. Oh, Josh McElmore. Yeah, Josh McElmore giving the little bit of a shot, the number 67.
Looked like also too that the one through the the Lawler gets a little bit, the 52. Oh no, the 136 goes into the corner a little bit hot, goes up the track. Trent Lavalle's holding his line on that inside there, so that'll be one for the stewards to sort out after the race.
So far, you can see a lot of these drivers trying to navigate around this 1 mile racetrack of Rockingham. It's not the best, but it really makes you want to drive this track as best as you possibly can. The Rock with a little bit of a repave here, as we are on the new surface of Rockingham, not the old surface. Such a beautiful racetrack in person and on iRacing. If you haven't been, I really suggest going out to Rockingham.
There's also too repave has been done as well, as those cars just get out there before the pace car. A repave as well. So this new repave is that inside lane is a lot more better on your tyres than the outside. So that's one thing the crew chiefs will be looking at as well. Also too, coming in out of the first stage, the crew chiefs will be starting looking at the numbers for what the tyres were, how much wear they had on them, and how much fuel. So back green again.
And it looks like the 57 of Gray going to be able to get the greater restart on that inside lane. He's going to be able to get clear of the second position, but here comes Barry down to the inside. Gray goes way wide. He's going to be back to third, but a really big car accident towards the back, bringing out another yellow, as it's the 36 of Chooch, hard on the outside wall.
You go on board here as well. It looks like the 136 of loose. Oh, Ben Fulton is involved. That's just unfortunate driver error. That there is cold tyres and not knowing what kind of car you got underneath you at this stage of the race. As we see here, there, so you come into the corner, coming in a little bit hot, gets a little bit loose. Oh, tries to hold it, takes out the 28 into the wall, and then Gary Wellman a little bit of damage, and I think there was another car spinning somewhere as well. So. And I think David Lawler went around as well, so.
No.
Oh. Yeah, Lawler. That was a secondary crash.
I think Keith Hackney was involved in that too. As he was coming back down the track, ended up getting involved with Keith Hackney and Brad Wright, maybe in the number 19.
Oh, damage on Keith as well. Tom Frigg does get through. Jason Holdsworth just misses it as well, so Keith Hackney, a little bit of damage on that car. He probably will wait to the end of the stage to get that fixed, I would imagine. So pace cars, lights are out. We're going to go green once again. 8th caution for the night and 60 laps. We're not even at this stage, and then we've still got another 25 laps to go on this stage.
Yeah, definitely going to be something to watch here, see if they can get back into that rhythm that they had in stage number 1 and get some green flag laps on those fresh new Goodyear tires. As going to be buried down on the inside. He's going to lead these drivers back to the green flag in the restart zone. A little bit of a cleaner restart there, but already pushing it 3 wide. Bad Brad and Zach Kerr through the middle. They're like, you know what? We want to get away from all this traffic. Bring us back up to the front. And now they're going to be 1 through 4 single file. And then just look at the gaggle of cars all the way through the race pack, trying to find any which way they can be to get down to single file, back to 3 wide towards the back of the pack. So a little bit of contact there between the 28 and 43 of Aaron Borg, not being happy about that contact from the number 28, as he had a 4-wheel slide going into number 1 and 2, able to keep it off the wall, but he's going to lose a lot of time on that number 28.
Watch out also for the, like I was saying earlier, for the 55 car of Coupe Dow, dominating a lot of races this week in the officials, a lot of wins. I think he had 3 wins for the week, a lot of top 5s. He's been hitting those officials hard, and the results are starting to show as well inside the top 5. And that's what the series is all about there, Dylan, is that the more practice you do in the officials in race pace, in race trim, everything race is set up the same, the better you're going to be in the races later on.
Oh, 100%. I mean, you got the entire week to practice and get your racecraft down for that week and how it's going to go. Granted, officials are going to be a little bit different with the cautions and, no stages. They're a little bit shorter than what we run here tonight, but you can get a good grasp about how your truck's going to handle, what adjustments you can throw in the truck. That is your time to practice and test and tune and see what your truck can handle, what it can't handle. As we look there, Coupe Dow thought about making the pass on the number 16 of Fitzroy Beaumont, not able to make the pass. He's going to ride behind that Vermilion Esports number 16 and just kind of ride, see where his weaknesses are on the racetrack, see where he's strong at. You can see there, Fitzroy got a really good 1 and 2. He's going to be able to pull away from Coupe Dow, but Coupe Dow has a really good 3 and 4. He's going to be right up on the back bumper, going through the corner and onto the front straightaway. And then he kind of loses it going through turn number 1 and 2.
Coupe Dow was our Rookie of the Year last year as well, so he's coming to this season red hot after coming to a great season last year. Inside there at Fitzroy Beaumont, trying to get in there to see if he can get the pass done and get to the inside. Davo's right behind him there, ready to pounce if something does happen. Now he's up 19 positions as well. Ben Porter's up 21. We've also got Jamie Davis having a good run inside the top 15. He's up 20.
Yeah, you can see there Davo already looking down on the inside of Coupe Dow for position. Coupe Dow is just going to go ahead and give it on over to Dave O. Doesn't want to fight him too much. There's still a lot of laps left in stage number 2. 23 laps out of 45 are complete. In stage 2, Ben Faulkner going to go ahead and get passed by the Barber and by Matt Danson, who got his lap back after a quick caution in stage number 1. And now Danson working his way up to P number 10, trying to take over P number 9 from Ben Faulkner.
Next car there for him to get is the Southern Stars car on the 05 of Ryan Barber. Looking to see if he can get the pass done there also there on Ben Faulkner. Oh, here we go. Davo. Newman's now in second, past Jackson Barry to get up into the top 2. Davo's now past Fitzroy Beaumont. Now it's up to Coupe Dow now to get past Fitzroy Beaumont to see what he can do, but the Vermilion Esports car of Zach Kerr is showing how good clean hair really is.
Now you can see their paddles all over the racetrack. You got Vermillion and Altus. Oh, Sam Chapman. Lewis getting tapped. He's going to be able to save it all the way through turns number 1 and 2. A beautiful save by the 101 of Sam Chapman. But now his tires are not going to be the greatest. He's got to let those tires cool down going around this racetrack. But back up to the battle between Kute Dow and Fitzroy Beaumont. Fitzroy Beaumont still sitting in front of Kute Dow, but Kute is one of those drivers that has shown time and time again what consistency can do and what the consistency can pay off with. As he is our last year's Rookie of the Year, and he's trying to search for his first win in the Australian NASCAR Truck Series.
Beaumont just holding that position. We've got lap cars, a bit of lap traffic in there as well to deal with now in the 36 car of Brendan the Cooch Griffiths. He'll get past him. Oh, the Cooch just loose up against the wall.
As they're able to get around Bleakley and Chooch Griffith. As you see there, Kute Dow gave a little bit of room just in case if something did happen. He wanted to have Fitzroy Beaumont give him the same respect that he gives him when they're passing lapped traffic coming up through the field. But Aaron Borg right behind them, trying to just make it to the end of the stage with only 15 laps to go here in stage number 2.
Not to do one thing, the clean air is a massive advantage around here as well. Last lap alone, there's about 0.2 of a lap difference between first and second at the moment. Brad's on the charge forward though, but as we see at the moment though, that clean air just makes that 1 to 0.2 of a second quicker per lap. It's just the difference that's going to keep him out in front.
Yeah, everybody trying to do what they need to do. You can see how quickly everything has spread out between the field. Zach Kerr has a 1 and 1.2 second gap over Brad Newman and is still kind of climbing. But now Dave O sitting at P number 3, just got over Jackson Berry. And now he's going to try to hunt down that number 1 of Brad Newman.
Well, the 92's around. Looks like he just got loose coming out of turn number 2, did he? Holdsworth gets through, the 93 gets through, Tom Freer gets through.
I wonder if Tom Freer got in the back of him after he got loose. As we get another look at this, you're going to see he gets loose coming off the corner. Oh, yeah, Tom Freer got in the rear of him.
Yep. And unfortunately for Tom, there's nothing more he could do there either. There was a loose car. It's just, unfortunately, one of those things. We've seen cars come down pit road. Scott Rankin, Ben Faulkner down pit road.
Now, this is going to be a little bit interesting. Are they going to just take tires, Nige, or fuel, excuse me? Or are they going to take tires and fuel?
I wouldn't be taking tyres. No way would I be taking a set of tyres. Doesn't look like Scotty is. I think he's just going to fill that thing up with fuel and head back out, which, honest, he's got to fix some damage. Maybe he's got damage on that car that we're not sure about.
I will say he's in there quite some time. No tires for the number 59 machine, but like Nigel said, maybe a little bit of damage that we didn't get to see up here in the booth. I don't think he was involved in any accidents, was he? Don't remember seeing Sky Rankin involved in anything, but he could have smacked the wall coming off turn number 2, could have smacked the wall coming off turn number 3 and 4, or could have hit the wall in the middle of the corners.
Black flag for Tom Freer. Spinning on pit lane, I'm imagining. He'll head to the back. Looks like Rankin's been down pit road. Fixed some damage up on that car there. He'll be back out soon to go back up to the front. But yeah, big shout out to everyone in the chat. About to go green once again. Pace car lights are off, Dylan.
It's going to be
10 lap
Zach
dash.
Kerr. Oh, yeah. 10-lap dash. Definitely going to be a fun one to watch. Zach Kerr down on the inside. Brad Newman on the out. Dave O, the fastest man in that little bit of a stint. Up to P number 3. He's all over the back bumper of Zach Kerr. Into the restart zone we go. First place going to be getting the better restart over Brad Newman and Dave O. Brad Newman quickly gets down to that inside to block that run off of Dave O.
Yellow's
And a
out.
quick
Aaron
caution.
Norman 253.
And Dave Douglas. Man.
Let's see what's happened here. Thought the contact there. Yeah, the 80, was it the 83, I think?
It was Logan Keys going in the middle.
Yeah. There was
I
also
think
a
maybe he got a
checkup
little
there
bit
at the start
nervous.
too, wasn't there? Is there a checkup at the start? It was like the 8 of Holdsworth dodged something there on the restart. Checkup.
Take a look at Jason Holdsworth. See if there's a little bit of a checkup on the restart here.
Yeah, there's a checkup there. Looks like the it wasn't.
Looks like the
it was on the-
080.
yeah, it was right up the front.
It was either the 080 or if it was Fitzroy Beaumont. Maybe he might have missed a shift. I mean, yeah, there's no way. It's got to be a missed shift. The way that his truck didn't take off like everybody else's. I believe either he missed a shift or, Nigel, he forgot to take it from 4th to 2nd.
I think so. There's something that's going wrong there. Looks like the it's the what
Blues,
creamy
16?
the blue car of it's 2 in front of the 30 of Matt Danson. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Not sure what's happened there. Anyway, we want for the stewards to look at.
I'm going to drop down one more time in this stage. I'm going to go back to green flag racing once again. Again, running order. As it sits right now, we have, excuse me, Zach Kerr, Brad Newman, Dave Olgenzak, Jackson Berry, Kute Dow, Ryan Barber, Fitzroy Beaumont, Keith Hackney, Aaron Borg, and
Green.
Angus Lawford running out your top 10. But green flag back out on the racetrack. This time, Brad Newman not going to be able to get the job done on that inside. He's going to lose 2nd position to Dave O. But here comes Dave O with a big head of steam. Looking down the inside on the race leader. He's going to try to lead one lap here before the end of the stage and get some most valuable stage points. New race leader to the front, the 311 of Dave Olgenzak.
Brad Newman just sitting right behind him. They've got a battle for lead, 5 to go. Side by side through turn number 2 between Zach Kerr and Dave O.
Boy, Zach Kerr got into the wall just a little bit off of the corner. Brad making a 3 wide across the start finish line. It's going to be Zach Kerr with the race lead.
We got the 101 of Sam Chapman and the 86 of Blundell.
The 86, Timo Blundell. Definitely not what Sam or Tim Blundell or Brian Blundell wanted to see this
He's
evening.
loose as well. It looks like also too the not the Project 36 car's loose as well, covered off the corner. Looks like the
Jamie Davis.
Jamie Davis. Yeah, loose coming off the corner. That's not a good look, guys. Pit stops. Pit stops are happening here, Dylan. Everyone's going to be coming down to the start of the stage. Fresh tyres, fill the tank up, make some changes.
Yeah, looking at it now, pit stops are underway. Looking like Zach Kerr going to relinquish the race lead. He's going to go down into pit lane. That's going to give the race lead over to Trent Lavelle in the number 6-7. We're going to try his hand up here towards the front. Looks like he got that truck all fixed up. Except for maybe the rear. Maybe. Oh, yeah, no. That truck looks brand new, Nigel. That truck, I think he went down and paid the officials to get a fast repair on that number 67.
Don't say anything.
Yeah, I think he paid the officials, gave himself a fast repair there. But as it sits right now, Trellavelle going to bring us back to the green flag. You got Adam Gray up on the outside of the front row.
This is the start of the final stage coming up.
Green.
We get ready to go here. Trellavelle bringing them back to the green flag. And Zach Kerr all over the back bumper. He's going to look to take over that race lead very quickly. And already, before out of turns number 1 and 2, Zach Kerr back to the race lead.
45. We're going to stay green though. Big pack of cars there. Kudo Tao, the Angus Lawford's back up there as well. Ryan Barber there is involved. We've got a bit of a split pack happening now with the top 7 cars. This is the we're starting stage number 2. The final stage has started right now.
As you see there, Zach Kerr being the race leader. He ended up winning stage number 2. As everybody diving down into turns number 1 and 2, being side by side, making sure everything gets all the way in and through, and they come just mere inches Off that outside wall,
Big
as we
yellow
have
out.
yet another caution.
Dorman's in the wall. Damage on there as well.
Definitely not what Aaron Dorman wanted to see this race. He wanted to have a nice, clean race, and just has not gone his way.
Yep. Got loose.
I just wanted to make sure, as had a little bit of technical difficulties on my side with booting me out of Discord and bringing me back in, but one more caution as Aaron Dorman being involved in that current crash. He's just looking to finish. Looking to
Sorry
finish.
guys, I've just had some. Can't get my YouTube stream to work. So guys, I'm sorry about that. I'm back now though. I'll just go off this other one instead.
You know, everybody keeps talking about this chicken salt, and now you're like, like Nigel. We have before the broadcast started, and just now we got Dean in our ears saying, "Yeah, chicken salt, chicken salt, chicken salt, chicken salt."
Well, we are going to go live. I think over the weekend when Wesley is back home from his real racing commentary commitments, he's actually going to do a Facebook and a YouTube live. I think he's going to do it on our channels here of him trying chicken salt, Tim Tams, Boost, and cherry ripes.
Boost and what?
A cherry ripe, the chocolate bar that's got cherry in the middle of it.
Oh, see, now I can get behind that because I'm a very plump American. So
what we'll have to do is get the one with Wesley done first, and then we'll have to get the care package to send over to Dylan. and then we can have his.
Yeah, you guys do that, and I can care package some Raisin Canes over to you.
I'm intrigued. Well, here we go. Back to racing once again.
Green flag.
12th caution in the bag. Good start by Zach Kerr.
Yeah, beautiful start by Zach Kerr. He's going to be able to get out single file over Brad Newman and Dave O. Brad Newman kind of backed out of that whole situation. He's going to lose a lot of time off of Zach Kerr and Dave O. Dave O hot on the heels of the number 12 machine. This is going to be a great battle between these two, but they get to battle, and that's going to allow Brad Newman to get back up there. And Nigel, if we didn't have those last couple cautions in that second stage, these three being a 3 wide going into turns number 1 and 2, ooh, it was going to heat up for the race lead coming to the end of that stage.
That's correct. And guess who's up there too? Josh Mickelmore, the X-Series champion for season number 1. Back in the trucks this year. Quality driver as well that Josh is. He's back up towards the front again in the battle there with Brad Newman into the other side down the top 5.
Yeah, Josh Mickelmore. What a recovery from how the first half of the season has gone. He has found his way up to the top 4 as it sits right now, still looking for his first win of the season for himself and Nitro Racing. But it's all Vermillion up front with Nitro Racing behind him, and then Lobs Esports as Dave O down to the inside looking to take the race lead. But the momentum is going to be on the outside. Can Zach Kerr get it back? as a caution flag is out. Are they going to give it to Dave O or are they going to give it to Zach Kerr as another Project 36 machine comes in at the final second, giving a little bit of a bump to the truck that was stopped? Because we're going to go ahead and get a quick CT electrical replay and see what all the Calamity corner is. So we're on board of the number 4.
It was the 57. The 57.
Mm.
Whoa.
Mm. You know, if Project 36 didn't have any bad luck, they wouldn't have any luck at all. Oh, the 57 got in there really hard. Really,
Got
really,
loose.
yeah. I think he had to slam on the brakes to not hit Riley Curtis. And just the memorabilia flying off of these trucks.
Just, yeah, we could ride on board with the with Adam Gray, ride on board with him and see what's happening in his truck.
Yeah, you like right there, Nige. You can see he was on the quarter panel of Riley Curtis, and then just a quick jab of the brake while turning, and that just upset the truck going into the corner. You see it here. He's clear. Oh, big checkup.
Yep.
And then obviously a little bit of miscommunication. Bang, bang, pow, boom, bam.
So if we
He's
come
not.
here, yep, that's. I thought there might have been a bit of connection issue there, but I think that's a complete lose on his own. Unfortunate for the 57, big damage on some other cars there too. The 4, and looks like Aaron Borg's involved with that as well. Got damage on that one. Has it got? Is it Aaron Borg? No, maybe it's not Aaron Borg.
Oh, David Lawler, nowhere to go. Timo Blundell in the number 4 came in, got on the brakes, but I mean he's already committed to that high line, Nigel, and
yeah. I can't see who that the red and white car is. I couldn't quite see.
no,
No, it's number 10. Yeah.
Sam Chapman's a black and red. I think that's Aaron Borg. Aaron
I think
Borg.
it was Aaron Borg. Oh, we're back green once again.
So giving the restart back to Dave O, he was able to get the race lead off of Zach Kerr at the moment of caution. So give Dave O the race lead. He's going to try to check on out. Keith Hackney, a recovery drive up to P number 5, Micklemore in 6th, Jackson Berry in 7th, Ryan Barber in the 05 sitting P number 8. Fitzroy Beaumont in 9th, and rounding out your top 10 is going to be Scott Rankin. A lot of recovery drives for a lot of these drivers that were involved in some incidents and or just wanted to stay towards the back, save a little bit of tires, save a little bit of fuel. And now they're making their way back up to the front as single file for a lot of these drivers, if not the entire field.
I was going to say, Dylan, I reckon these guys could make it a one-stop now. I think that'll be a one-stop race now with these guys there. Go for a set of tyres. I would think around about lap 157 to 160 would be where I'm thinking.
Yeah, I'm not exactly 100% sure. I'll have to look back at the notes and see how long these drivers can stay out on a tank of gas. But I mean that kind of sounds right. I mean, you want to kind of have the freshest tires out of the whole bunch, but you don't want to stay out to the point where everybody else is pit and you're still out there. Because once these drivers get back up to full song after those green flag pit stops, the more you stay out, or the longer you stay out, the more time you're going to lose on the track. So it's always good to either A, pit before, one lap before, or as soon as they pit, you go in before they get out of pit lane. As Dave-O getting a little bit loose out of turns number 1 and 2. And now Zach Kerr all over the back bumper of Dave-O once again. Team Vermilion Esports trying to make their way back up to the front, as it's been a Zach Kerr show in first position all night long. But now you got Dave-O leading the way.
And was that, I was going to say before that caution came out and we saw the pass to the lead by Dave-O and Zach Kerr, did Zach Kerr just let Dave go so we can just sit behind and save tyres? Because realistically, from now on, the only thing you need to win is to win the races. The next time you need to be in first position is on that final lap. So is this a strategy here by the 12 car to just sit behind Dave-O, just trying to save as much tyre as he can to hopefully make it up later in the run?
You know, that could be a really good possibility. That's not a bad strategy at all. You know, saving your stuff, riding behind the second position. It's actually amazing how much you can save riding behind somebody when you think that you're pushing the truck as hard as you possibly can, but in reality, you're not pushing the truck hard at all, as the leader has to really do what he needs to do is, a little bit of contact between the 12 and the number 1, Zach Kerr and Brad Newman. Brad Newman had to back off the throttle just a little bit to not get into the 12 and send them around, as a little bit of gap between first, second, and third.
As you can see there, clean air is just as good there for Dave-O as well, just a little bit of a lead there as well. The other big cars and the big movers so far is Jackson Barry. He's up 21 now inside the top 6, but Ryan Barber as well in the Southern Stars Ford in the 05. He's up 14, he's inside the top 10 now. He'll be one to watch later on the run.
Yeah, he's looking to capitalize on a big night here at Rockingham. He wants to get his race win and notch that on his belt, as they're all searching for another race win in the Australian NASCAR Truck Series. But it's going to be Dave-O looking for his second win on the season here at The Rock. And The Rock is a proven first-time winner. William Sawalich in the Xfinity or in the O'Reilly Series, getting his very first win this weekend at The Rock. So, can we see in the virtual Rock a new first-time winner? Zach Kerr going to look to take over that race win here tonight, but he's got a tall task. One of the juggernauts that came in this season, Dave-O, trying to take that away.
And that's right, we're lap 185 laps to go here at the moment, with everyone, the field's starting to spread out there. Little path position there between Keith Hackney and Aaron Borg now inside the top 5 there. That truck there, the 8 car of Hackney, starting to get a little bit more speed to it now. 24.122 last lap, right up there with the leaders at the moment. And also need to remember too, the last lap that Zach Kerr and Brad Newman were faster than Dave-O in the lead.
Yeah, that's actually kind of surprising, being the second position. Obviously, with a little bit of draft, you're going to be a little bit faster than the leader. You don't have to push it harder into the corners. You don't have to really be full song the entirety of the race run. You can see there at the top 2 getting in the wall off of turns number 1 and 2, but Zach Kerr not going to be able to make any ground up on a Dave-O with that little bit of a wall slap going in turn number 1 and 2 once again. Brad Newman trying to search high, low, middle, wherever he can to put that truck to take over second position, but not going to be close enough to do it.
And now on the inside there of all the... hang on guys, my screen just went blank. I can't see anything, hang on.
So as it sits right now, top 3 still following. Big wall hit by Zach Kerr. Bounces off the outside wall, getting it back into relatively slow mode. as Brad Newman gets a really good run off turns number 3 and 4. He's going to look down to the inside of the number 12. The 12 thinking about chopping the nose off the 1, thought better of it. These two have had issues in the past, but they're going to live to see another corner as Brad Newman got tight off turns number 1 and 2. He had to back out of it, and now he's got to eye up another run on Zach Kerr.
Now, guys, screen, I've got a bit of a thunderstorm happening where I am at the moment. That's all right. We'll sort it all out eventually, but these top 3 at the moment, and also don't rule out Keith Hackney. He's starting to creep up on these 3 as well to be part of the 4 here to try to get the lead.
Yeah, you know, with these two, the 12 and the 1 battling as hard as they are, that allowed Keith Hackney to make up that time on Brad Newman. Brad Newman now falling off of the number 12, and now they got lap traffic in front of them. Where is, I believe that's Sam Chapman. Yeah, Sam Chapman. He's going to stick it up high, stay up high. But now, look all over the back bumper. Dave-O going to get a little bit of a bumper tap from the number 12 of Zach Kerr. Not going to phase him one bit. And honestly, Nigel, I'm really surprised how close Zach Kerr was all over that back bumper of Dave-O. It didn't get him a little bit loose going through turns number 1 and 2.
And those little things there that the crew chief of the 12 will be looking at, what that car's going to do when he gets close to the car in front, and also what happens when the car gets behind of Zach Kerr as well. So watch out for them too. I'm keeping an eye on this battle here, guys, but I'm also keeping a battle on as well between the 55 of Coude Dale, the 16 of Fitzroy Beaumont. There's another battle at the back of the field. Oh, we see Keith Hackney now get just into the little bit the front, back of Newman there as we're coming out of 2. Plenty of battles all the way around the track at the moment.
Yeah, you can see just how quickly Keith Hackney runs the center of the corner. He's looking down to the inside. Brad Newman kind of blips the throttle. He's going to go ahead and let him go on by. He's now up to P number 3. The battle for the lead still hot and heavy as we are battling for essentially the race win. I mean, 75 laps to go in this 200 lap race. We've seen our fair share of cautions, but now we're on a nice green flag run. And Zach Kerr was all over the back bumper, backed out of it just a little bit, got a little bit tight off of one of the corners, and now he's got to eye up that run again. But I think the fastest man on track, Nigel, is that number 6 of Keith Hackney.
That's correct. He is absolutely flying at the moment. He was actually the quickest, but guess who's coming back into the picture now? It's Brad Newman. He was the fastest man last lap. Another thing we've got to start to remember too, Dylan, is as we get green flag run like this here, the guys on pit lane, the crew chiefs, the tyre changes, your entry into pit lane, your exit's going to mean so much. You cannot afford to stuff up, especially on these long green flag runs, especially how tight it is in that top 4 positions at the moment.
Yeah, your entry to pit lane, your exit to pit lane, it's going to be your money stop. This is where you make or break your race. You don't want to speed on pit lane. And here comes the 12 down to the inside. Can we see a change for the lead? Dave-O on the outside, Zach Kerr on the inside. Down low they go, side by side, a little bit of contact. Oh. Dave-O almost up in the outside wall. He's not going to lose 1 position. He's going to lose 2.
He was on the radio then. Didn't mean to do. We also got a battle here between back here as well. I'm watching a battle between Josh Micklemore, Jackson Barry. That's Josh Micklemore gets past a position for there at the moment, puts him into 11 and 12.
Jamie Davis getting into the outside wall, 3 lap cars in front of the race leaders, 3 wide behind them, lap car up on the outside, Dave-O in the middle. And then you got Brad Newman down on the inside. A battle for the race lead once again between the 6 and the number 12. Keith Hackney all over the back bumper, trying to get him a little bit loose. What can Keith Hackney do?
And also you got to remember Brad Newman's on the inside. Chris Bleakley just hops out of the way as they come through the corner. Got Zach Kerr, Keith Hackney. Oh, it's all happening up the front here at the moment. I can't keep up. And our trailer man Dean's in the trailer saying, I can only show one thing at a time on the broadcast.
Yeah, as everybody trying to find their way around, Keith Hackney was all over the back bumper of Zach Kerr. Had to back out of it just a little bit. They're going to go around to Aaron Borg one more time. 67 laps to go here at The Rock. It's Zach Kerr, Keith Hackney, Brad Newman for your top three. We had Matt Danson make a pass on Aaron Borg for P number 7. So Aaron Borg is now... No, Aaron Borg is... They didn't just pass Aaron Borg. Who did they just pass? It was a red and white car, but Aaron Borg's not... Or Aaron Borg is on the lead lap, so not exactly sure what was going on there, but it's all Zach Kerr at the moment. A little bit of a gap between first, second, and then a bigger gap between second and third.
Battle keeps going on the front here as well. It's, I can't believe it. And this is the thing. Once we get these green flag runs and we get these, everyone starts racing. It's awesome racing, and it's good to see as we also there's a pass up. Danson's also coming back in the picture too. He's now inside the top 6. His next car he's going to be passing is either Scott Rankin or Davo.
Yeah, Davo kind of fell off once he got that little bit of a, I guess, weird wonky hit off the right side of Zach Kerr. A little bit too much side draft going into turn number 1 and 2. Going to send Davo high, wide, and handsome towards the outside wall. He ended up falling back to 4th position, right behind Brad Newman, but there's one lapped truck in between the top 4 as it sits right now. Keith Hackney gonna eye up one more run on that number 12 machine, see if he just can't get right back up on the back bumper and see if he can't make the pass. Keith Hackney has yet to lead a lap here tonight at Rockingham, but we call him kind of, I guess, a good nickname for Keith Hackney. Nigel could be like the closer. You know, he closes it out. Well, other than Miss Piggy and Wes and all that stuff, we can call him the closer.
He's won a lot of races this year, and he's also strong in the truck, even with the officials as well, is the 8 of the Keith Hackney. He's starting to fall off the pace a little bit now. He was, last lap alone, he was only one. He was 4/10 slower, but he did hit the wall. He did hit the wall going out of turn number 2, so maybe there might be a little bit of damage as well, as Joshua Hodgster currently in A position. We're right on board with him, and Ryan Barber just in front of him in the 194 for Southern Stars. This is a position between 6th and 8 at the moment, as we see it. Another battle up the front here. We got Matt Danson, Scott Rankin.
Yeah, Matt Danson going to be able to get that.
Yeah, it's going to say easily passed then, done by Matt Danson on Scott Rankin. He goes now into the top 5.
Yeah, Matt Dancy Dance doing what he needs to do. As Joshua Houghton looks down to the inside of the number 194. He's looking to make that position on that Ford F-150, not going to be able to get the run. And this is what I was talking about, Nigel. That outside lane is going to be the inside lane's worst nightmare. That outside lane carries so much momentum on that outside. You can just really power off the corner as long as it sticks. If the truck doesn't stick and you can't put the power down, you're going to get a little bit loose. But look at that. Not going to be able to get the pass done this time by. That's going to allow Andy Barber to go back down to the inside and not have to play that defensive line up on the out. A lot of trucks everywhere on this racetrack. Everybody just trying to survive here at The Rock. We have 58 laps to go, almost to 50 laps to go.
And I think it's 17 laps until I was going to say 17 laps until we start seeing pit stops there, Dylan. I said before, I reckon 157 or 160 is when you'll start to see these cars come down. As we see, actually, the first car is going to start to come in now. The Project 36 car of Brendan Griffiths, he's going to come down pit road this time. Battling it.
Yeah, a lot of the trucks have already made their pit stops already, as Dave O getting passed by Matt Dancy Danson. as you see there. Last pit stop. Lap since pit is going to be 56 for the top three. And then 43 for Matt Danson, 56 for the next four drivers. Tom Freer, 43, 56, 56, and 56 as Dave O goes into pit lane this time by. I don't know, Nigel. I think that's still a little bit too early.
I think so as well, but the strategy will start to play out. Who knows what these guys have got in their tanks? We can only guess up in the booth. We have no knowledge of how much they've got in their tanks, how much fuel they did save during the cautions, because you can save up to 4 or 5 laps of fuel under caution, Dylan.
Yeah, that's definitely something you really got to pay attention to, is how much these drivers can really save. Who's pushing the throttle all the way to the floor and who's just kind of lagging back a little bit. As I think now, I'm thinking Zach Kerr's kind of in that somewhat tire conservation and a fuel saving mode, because I mean, there for a little bit, Nigel, we've seen Keith Hackney fall off the pace just a little bit, and he's starting to slowly catch back up to Zach Kerr. Zach Kerr's running a higher line than Keith Hackney, but now we got to change for P number 3, Matt Danson. He is coming pretty quickly, but at what expense does this take for Matt Danson? Fresh new tires, but once these leaders pit, it's going to cycle back out to them being up towards the front.
Well, that's correct as well. And then also too, you got to put into factor is you don't want to come down too early, because we've had a lot of cautions tonight and they can come out at any stage. So you just got to keep that in the back of your mind as well, is you don't want to get caught out being on pit road, especially when that caution's out and going a lap down.
We'll look at the race recap. The longest green flag run that we've had here tonight, you can see it down there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. 13 cautions for 40 laps, 6 lead changes.
Yellow.
So for the
Yellow's out.
race leader going to be Zach Kerr, but under another yellow flag condition.
Kelvin Clark, I think, completely stuffed up the pit.
Oh no. Now, if you're Dave O and Matt Danson, what do you do? Oh no. Dave O got him. No. I mean, he's not showing the body language as he's going to pit. Oh, yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's happened there, Dylan, is that he was going to go down to pit road, but decided to try to pit from the middle of the track. I think this is what's happened here. And I think he didn't understand that Davo was coming at a speed of knots, and unfortunately that's brought out the 14th caution tonight. They're all down pit road.
So, want to have a funny here. So, essentially, he pulled a Matt Danson.
I'll stay out of that one. I think this will be the pit stop that will either win the race or lose the race. I don't think they've got any tyres left. I think this will be the last set of tyres.
Yeah. Did Kerr only take lefts or rights? Lefts? Okay, I was about to say. By the time that I seen Zach Kerr was in pit lane, it only showed the left side going up. But then again, it's NASCAR. They end with the left side tires changing. They start with the rights, ends with the lefts. I should have known that. Dylan, not knowing. Yeah, it's been a long night. Okay, it is currently, for everybody out there on the YouTube, Facebook, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch world. It is currently 7:40 in the morning here in northern Indiana.
Pumping
It
some
is
bacon.
currently, completely opposite of what Nigel is seeing as of right now. It's getting what? I would say nighttime
9
darkness for
p.m.
you. Yeah, and see, a little 14 hours ahead of me. So, this is me from the past saying hello. And can you tell me how the day went from the future?
It's so we've got 20 minutes left in sim time left, Dylan. Let's hope we can get these last 45 laps in. It's going to be tight. I reckon if we have another caution, we may be in trouble. We'll see how we go.
I have full faith in these drivers. I believe we can do it.
I think we can.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag is back out on the racetrack, and Zach Kerr getting a beautiful launch on that inside lane. He's going to be able to get clear of Keith Hackney, Matt Danson down to the inside of Keith Hackney. They're going to be side by side. But I believe, hard contact for Jason Holdsworth towards the back. He's going to keep it along the outside wall and possibly go down to the pit lane. Might have broke that toe link on the front left or front right of that number 8 machine, but battle up towards the front. Scott Rankin getting around Brad Newman. Brad Newman looking for a little bit of a crossover. He's looking down low on Scotty. Scott high up on the outside. Newman going to go ahead and take that position right on back.
I'm not sure what happened to Holdsworth there. I'd like to go back and then see what all my replays, see if I can find it. We've got a battle here between Scott Rankin and Brad Newman. We're going to stay alive with this one at the moment. This is where the battle right is to inside the top 4 and 5 here at the moment. These guys have been battling all season long. Oh!
Scotty wasn't there to the fair.
Oh, here we go.
Battle for the race lead. Keith Hackney down to the inside. Come on, Miss
Yellow
Piggy,
flag is
get it done.
44 and the
Austin
55.
is out.
44
Pass
and
for the
55.
lead right at the last minute. Gives that her back to the lead. Yeah, a little bit of an issue there with the number 44 and the 31 getting together. 31 down on the inside maybe gets a little bit tight, but it looked like the 44 kind of come down. And big contact by the number 55 of Kute Dow. Immediately blown engine on that number 55 machine. He's going to have to tow into pit lane. And big contact by the number 44 on the outside wall. Kute Dow, nowhere to go. And that's just one thing about Rockingham is, that wall kind of creeps up a little bit quicker than what you would think on that outside lane. And it's just so hard to go side by side through that corner. And Kute Dow already committed. See the hood. Get your autographed hood from Kute Dow's pit stall down there in the number 55 camp.
Yeah, get the Rookie of the Year signature from last year.
Yeah, $55, everybody. $55. But it could be yours for 4 easy payments of $24.99.
Stu. We've got a good battle for the race here. We've got Kerr, Hackney, Danson, Newman, Andy Barber, Aaron Borg, Josh Hodgson, Scott Rankin, Angus Lawford, and Tom Freer. So we've got Vermilion, Nitro on the front, and then we've got in second row we've got Altus and Lobs. Then we've got Southern Stars and Aaron Borg, who I know does work with Southern Stars as well. So they're kind of teammates as well. So it's we're in for a great finish.
Yeah, they're going to be in for a great finish. If you guys are out there watching on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, comment down below who your favorite driver is. Who you think's going to get the race win here tonight? And who has the prettiest screen or prettiest paint scheme on the track? As we're back to green flag racing once again. And Keith Hackney able to get around Matt Dancy Dance. And now it's going to be a battle for the race lead between the 12 and the number 6.
We stay green. We stay green. Sorry, Dylan.
But looking here, Keith Hackney has really great short run speed. But as the run goes on, Nigel, you can see that 6 kind of fall off pace. And then once the 12 falls off pace, they're kind of back to being even once again. As Joshua Houghton all over the back bumper of Ryan Barber, that number 05. Just not able to make the pass. Everybody's going to be single file for the most part. No big battles. And now Matt Danson looking to do a little bit of do-si-do and get around that number 6 machine of Keith Hackney. He's not able to get the pass done, but the runs that Matt Danson is getting on that number 6 machine just makes it look so much easier. As he's still going to stay single file in the third. Just kind of eyeing up, seeing what he can do, see where he can pass at, and see where Keith Hackney loses a little bit of time.
Well, I think we're starting to see a different Danson at the moment. At the moment, he's been a bit frustrated on the radio tonight with some of the driving, so I think he's on a mission tonight to show everyone what it's like and what it takes to take his Altus Engineering 30 to victory lane. He's all on the back of here of Hackney at the moment, but it all going to depends, Dylan, who made the best changes at the last pit stop with what was that 45 to go was the pit stop. Whoever made the best adjustments there in the crew chief will be the ones that will win this race.
Yeah, the best stop is going to be the adjustments. And again, for all the people out there watching on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, these are all open setups. So basically, if you know how to build your own setup, you can have your own setup. Or if, let's say, you drive for Team Connie or Nitro, Elite Performance Industries, or any other setup shop out there, there's builders that'll build these setups for you for these specific races that you're seeing here on Highline HQ. And on a fixed race, Nigel, all you can really change is nothing. You can't change a single thing other than brake bias. But with the open setup, you can change your tire pressures, you can change perch, springs, whatever the case may be throughout the entirety of this race. So a lot goes into finding out how much fuel you need to put in the car to change the perch, how much fuel or how much tire pressure to take out as you add spring rate and perch into the rear to make that truck as low to the ground as possible. Basically put yourself back in the qualifying trim. Joshua Houghton being able to make that pass over Ryan Barber for P number 6.
Just getting back to what you were saying then, Dylan. Yeah, just getting back to what you were saying then, Dylan, was you're 100% right. What's so great about these events like this is you can get into work as keep acting, smacks them all going into one, is you can work as a team on a setup. You can work as a team on your setup, but on your pit stops, on your crew chief, everything can be done. The more work you put into this is the more you're going to get out of it. And unfortunately, that's why you see a lot of these guys that are always up the front, is because they're willing to do the work and put the time in to make sure that they are up the front.
Yeah, absolutely. And me, with me and you, Nigel, we're both sim racers, and we partake in the open setup world. And I've ran for Team Connie, I've ran for Nitro, I've ran for Elite Performance Industries, and it's all about feel. If you have a builder, let's say Johnny Taylor with Nitro, he will build for your likings. He will tell you the adjustments that you need to make sure that the truck suits you the way that it needs to go. Any builder out there, as long as you go to them and be like, hey, I don't like a super loose car, I don't like a super tight truck, I don't like this, I don't like that, they will have different variations of the setups that you could choose from to see what your driving style suits better for that specific run in the truck. But looking at Aaron Borg in the EKG machine down on the bottom right, see they're currently sitting at P number 5, highest as he's been all night on the racetrack. The lowest that he's been has been at least 10th or 11th position on the racetrack, but all single file racing still top 5 nose to tail.
Well, we've got 25 to go. We must thank our sponsor, CT Electrical, out of Bathurst, for all of your electrical needs, solar panels, whatever you need. He's just a normal Sparky, is what I've been told, but he just does what you want done. He's one of the best Sparkies, I think, in the business, is Trent Laval and all of his team down there at CT Electrical. So any of you out there need some electrical work done, I'm not sure if it goes everywhere in the country. I'm sure you can probably do something, but give that CT Electrical. Look him up on Facebook, Instagram, and Google them as well. So thank you again for CT Electrical and for all of those guys for getting on board to sponsor the Truck Series for this season.
Absolutely great to see that CT Electrical coming on board this season to help out with the racing here on Highline HQ. I want to give a big shout out to all the drivers out here giving us a beautiful race week in and week out, and all the setup shops that are a part of it as well. Nitro, Team Connie, Elite Performance Industries, and Outlier, Atlas, and Lobs Esports as well. So big shout out to all these drivers coming out, showing support to all the setup shops out there. It's not just one, it's all a big and large community all coming together to showcase what these drivers can do, as we had a little bit of a conflict of interest with a 30 and the 6. 30 putting the 6 up on the outside wall, a little bit of a dancey dance in Keith Hackney with Miss Piggy action going on. Is Miss Piggy going to go ahead and drop down to P number 3 as Kermit and Dancy Dance goes up to P number 2.
Second there for Dan to put him up in a battle here between Ton Freer, Ryan Barber, and Scott Rankin as well. This is for 7th, 8th, and 9th as in the wall goes Scotty Rankin coming out of 2 there as well. Now can Danson get to Zach Kerr? Last lap, he was 1,000ths of a second quicker.
Matt Danson searching around to take his first win of the season.
Oh, contact.
As we got a lot of issues going on back towards here, a lot of looseness coming around as all over the back bumper. That project number 36 machine all over Tom Freer, able to keep both trucks straight. Dave-O a little bit loose coming off turns number 1 and 2, going down the backstretch, and now going back into turns number 1 and 2. Dave-O trying to find any and all grip to get himself back into the top 10. He led some laps, hasn't won a stage, but the EKG machine is going all over the place for Dave-O. Not the best result coming from the 311 camp, but they're still in here as he is just clicking down these laps. And Nigel, 17 laps to go here at Rockingham.
I think Davo might have got some damage from the incident with the 777. He going down pit lane. I think that might be slowing him down a little bit there at the moment, as we start to see a battle here between Angus Lawford and Tom Frere coming into turn 2 with 16 laps to go.
Yeah, a little bit of spicy. Oh, a little bit of a hook on Angus Lawford, able to keep it straight. Tom Freer trying to side draft, almost got the better of him. Sent him down towards the inside as another battle for P number 3 and 4, 3 and 4, excuse me, yes. Brad Newman down to the inside of Keith Hackney. Side by side, Keith Hackney up on the outside, trying to hold Brad Newman off. Not going to be able to do it. Brad Newman gets clear. Keith Hackney, Joshua Houghton trying to make a capitalizing move over on Keith Hackney. And Keith Hackney, I think, has used up his tires, Nigel. He is struggling bad. He's going around. He was able to save it. Joshua Houghton almost got in the rear end of Keith Hackney.
Unfortunately, that's might be his night done. He's dropped down into 6th place at the moment. The battle at the moment is going to be up the front very shortly. Matt Danson is actually 1/10 of a second quicker than Zach Kerr.
I don't know about you, but I hope Joshua Houghton has brown pants on, because that was a fucker moment. I mean, Nigel, if me or you were in that truck, you would have been like, oh, bleep. Yeah, that definitely would have been us in the truck. And, you know, sometimes it works out for you, other times it doesn't. That time right there really worked out for Joshua Houghton, as he was able to miss Keith Hackney, as he's able to go. And we're going to have a battle for P number 3 here within a couple of laps, as Joshua Houghton has found some speed in that Vermilion Esports number 080.
Aaron Borg as well, back up into the top 5 in the 43 car. He'll be one there to watch as well, to come into the battle here, as he's running ball with Josh Hodgson there at the moment. Just on the back of there, Brad Newman now trying to get on the podium. But Matt Dancer at the moment, he is still quicker. The quickest man now there on track, 24.466 to 24.507. Keep an eye out for that there. We've only got 10 laps to go.
Okay, see there, Dave Douglas getting out of the way for those lead lap trucks, as Zach Kerr still the race leader, but it's getting Matt Danson is getting bigger in that rearview mirror. If you're Zach Kerr, what are you going to do if Matt Danson gets to your rear bumper? Are you going to block? Are you going to try to run the outside, make him pass you on the inside? 9 laps to go. You see it there on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Zach Kerr has not been out of the top 5 at all since the start of this race. He has kept himself clean and up towards the front.
They've only got 6 minutes left in the session, but I think we should be right for time. We're just going to get this race in.
6 minutes left in the session, 8 laps to go, 24-second lap times. We can do it. I believe in these drivers getting this race done. They're coming up on Riley Curtis. Riley Curtis is going to get out of the way for the race leaders. No, he's going to stay up towards the top. So Zach Kerr going down to the inside, wrapping the white line. Riley Curtis out of the way, and look at Matt Danson. He's getting ever so closer. Does he have enough time to get the pass done?
6 laps to go. Last lap with 10th quicker. Danson was the 10th quicker that lap.
Oh!
Whoa!
Keith Hackney battling attrition back here towards the back, as we go back up to the race lead, looking off of the dashboard of the Paradise Lights, as looking in Matt Danson's visor. You can't even see his eyes. I think he's driving blindfolded, but still looking fast and doing what he needs to do. And there's the gap. That truck right in front of Matt Danson, that's going to be the race leader. This is going to be the race for the win. Can Matt Danson get there? He's got 0.2 of a second over Zach Kerr. They got lap traffic all in front of them. Everybody's getting out of the way. Trent Lavelle down to the inside. He got out of the way as quick as he could. Doesn't want to get in the way of anything. And it's, oh yeah, this is going to be a really dicey and really spicy race win.
What more can Matt Danson do to get past the 12 of Zach Kerr?
As the chicken salt bandit is getting to Nigel. As Matt Danson is now battling with Sam Chapman. He lost a little bit of time. Sam Chapman not going to be able to get around Matt Danson, but white flag. This race is official for the race here tonight. No green, white checkers are going to be needed. 2 more corners for Zach Kerr. And down the backstretch for the final time into turns number 3 and 4, Zach Kerr has all nothing but daylight in front of him. Matt Danson can't get to the back bumper off the final corner. Zach Kerr is going to win at Rockingham. A beautiful race run all the way to the finish. We were up against the time, but we made it happen. Zach Kerr getting the race win here tonight. Matt Danson finishing second. And in third place, you had a beautiful run there towards the end. A little bit of a Tokyo drift around for Brad Newman in P number 3. Going to get our official results, our hard charger of the race, and everybody up in the top 20 and all the drivers out there on the racetrack. And they get a nice little commercial break before we get our drivers in the broadcast booth. But going to go ahead and let Zach Kerr burn it down on that front stretch as it sits right now. But the unofficial results, as we look out the front dashboard on that number 12, is going to be Zach Kerr with the race win. Second, going to be Matt Danson. Third is going to be Brad Newman. We get our results pulled up here momentarily. You can see Zach Kerr getting all those done. There you see it there. Track is going to be Rockingham, 200 laps, 6 green flag lead changes, 15 cautions for 46 total laps. Brian Blundell is going to be the hard charger, 19 positions. Most laps led is going to be Zach Kerr with 127. Fastest lap is also going to be Zach Kerr, and your pole position is going to be Scott Rankin for Vortex Sim Sports. Your finishing order is going to be Zach Kerr with the race win, Matt Danson in second. Third is going to be Brad Newman. Fourth is going to be Joshua Houghton. Fifth, Scott Rankin. Sixth, Ryan Barber. Seventh, Keith Hackney. Eighth, Angus Lawford. Ninth is going to be Tom Freer. And running out your top 10 is going to be Dave Oljanczak.
Schmickelmore for Nitro Racing in 11th with Brian Blundell. Blundell Sim Racing in 12th. Ben Faulkner for Vermilion Esports in 13th. Jackson Barry coming home in 14th. Fitzroy Beaumont running out your top 15 in Vermilion Esports in 15th. Aaron Borg in 16th. Riley Curtis in 17th. Gary Wellman in 18th. Brendan the Cooch Griffiths 19th. And Samuel Wright running out your top 20.
21st is going to be Trent Lavelle for Australia Wide Racing. 22nd is going to be Andy Barber for Southern Sports. 22nd is going to be Sam Chapman, Timo Blundell. And 25th is going to be Chris Bleakley. 26th is going to be Dave Douglas. 27th is going to be Jamie Davis, David Lawler in 28th. 29th is going to be Logan Keys. And rounding out your top 30 is going to be Kute Dow, 42 laps down.
45 laps down, Jason Holdsworth, Kelvin Clark, Aaron Dorman, Aaron Gray, Brad Wright, Tyler Williams rounds out your field tonight. Interesting race, and time to go to the interview.
Yeah, an absolutely phenomenal race win. But we're going to go ahead and roll these one commercial here on the Australian NASCAR Truck Series. Get these race drivers in the broadcast booth. It will be right back with post-race interviews with myself and Nigel in the broadcast booth.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we are back here with the post-race interviews. Going to go ahead and start with our race winner. That's going to be the number 12 for Vermilion Esports, Zach Kerr. Zach, you stayed towards the front. You needed to do what you had to do the entire first, second, and third stage there of the race. Tire management was absolutely key. Every time somebody had a little bit of a disadvantage against you, you kind of showed your stuff, kept to the outside, inside, no matter where you wanted to put that truck. But there towards the end of the race, you had Matt Danson starting to close in on you. Were you kind of mirror driving a little bit, or were you staying there just focusing on your line and make sure you hit all your marks?
I think the big thing that whole last run was just hitting my marks. I knew Matt had probably the better of the long run cars, that if I had the gap, which I did, he would probably be the only one that would be able to reel me in and have a fight towards the end.
Congratulations on your win tonight there, Zach. Was you, early in the run there, was you trying to let Dave O past you so you could save a little bit of fuel for your pit stop that was happening with about 45 to go?
I kind of just sat behind him to give myself a bit of a person to pace myself off of, instead of being out front and driving too hard and burning my tires up too early. So I just used him as a pace reference, and once he started to struggle, I passed him and went on with my race.
Yeah, either way, you ended up doing what you needed to do. Coming around with the race win here tonight, got it by just a just a little bit of time left on the clock. But before we let you get on out here, Zach, if there's anybody on that number 12 machine you'd like to give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Massive thanks to all the Vermilion Esports guys for bringing me on for the year. Big thanks to Fury Global for coming on the car. Obviously not on the car yet, as it was only a done deal today. Big shout out to Team Conti for all the setups. Lewis Greyhead Online Coaching, Ben Faulkner Media, Paceworth Fun, 27 Designs for the great liveries, and all the Vortex SimSport guys for our partnership, and you guys for the broadcast.
Well, congratulations to Zach Kerr for getting the race win here tonight. Going to go ahead and move on over to our second place finisher. That's going to be Matt Danson. And the number 30, Altus Motorsports, number 30. Matt, you fell behind the bullet there towards the beginning of the race, going one lap down, coming out, and then cautions bred cautions all the way through that first stage. You were able to get your lap back before the end of stage number one, and then it was kind of regroup, retry, get yourself back up there towards the front, and then towards the end of the race, it's like you almost hit a fifth gear to get back all the way up towards P number 2. You were a little bit off strategy with the pit stops. What was your take with that caution that ended up coming out there in the third stage that kind of put everybody back on the same strategy?
After that long run. Yeah, I mean, I was spewing about that because, I mean, I'd come back from once I got through a lot of the traffic. I think I was 7 seconds back or something large, and then I was right there when the yellow came out. I think I was like just on a second back from the leading two. So that was unfortunate because I mean, if that stays green, then we just march on and maybe we all have to stop under green. I mean, we most likely would have because it would have run to time, so that would have been interesting. But yeah, I mean, I went 2 laps down at one point actually. Had some commitments outside of the racing that kept me from jumping in the cockpit, and then I was finally able to get in there, and then I got a call under the first caution, I think it was, and I had to quickly park it and run back in to the study and send off a report, and then came back, and the race had just restarted, and I came out of the pits, and all these boys are all over me, so I fell 2 laps down, but managed to just kind of work away at it, get back. Actually, in that moment, to be honest with you, it was kind of good because I was amongst that front group, and I was able to see what my pace was, and so I felt pretty confident just in that short run that I had something. So it was just a matter of keeping my nose clean amongst a lot of the carnage that was happening, and I definitely don't think I had a great short run truck. I was probably just a little bit too tight, if I'm honest. But then it just stayed kind of neutral thereafter, and I think the others kind of were struggling with a bit of looseness or maybe too tight. I don't know what they were struggling with. They just seemed really all over the shop, and I was just able to chuck it on rails even on the super old tires. So and you saw in that run to the flag, once we got sort of 15 or so laps on the tires, I was able to get past Keith and then close down whatever it was, 1.2 or something to Zach. And if not for it was like a really unfortunate lap car just parked on the exit of turn 2 on the second last lap. Probably didn't really change the result because I would have probably just been on Zach's tail. Would I've been able to do too much? Don't know. But probably the biggest thing for me was the fact I was stuck behind Keith and just couldn't really do anything about that for a while. We all just had the same sort of pace, and by the time we did that move, got past him, there was just too much of a gap. So that's probably where the race was lost. I didn't put you to sleep, did I?
No, I was just going to say my question was to you, Danson. Earlier in the run, you were I've got race radio on my ear, and you're a little bit frustrated with everyone out there tonight. How did you keep your emotions in check to go through the field and take home the second tonight?
It's a brilliant question, Nigel. Yeah, I mean the first half of the race, I don't know if it's the stages or what it is, but you definitely get these cowboys that don't really have the racecraft, but they've got the tires, and I think everyone feels like Superman when you got the fresh tires there, and it kind of keeps everyone feeling fast. But you find out who can actually drive after 10, 15 laps. So yeah, it was a bit of ordinary standards in that first section, but once we got clear of the stages and everyone kind of locked in, you saw we had a really great race. It felt like, I mean, I came from, absolute last, I think it was, at the start of that long run, and everyone was driving good. So yeah, if we can get that kind of standard happening throughout the first half of the race as well, where people kind of keep their head on them, that would be ideal. But I don't know if I necessarily kept my emotions in check. I was pretty fired up, but I was trying to not use the radio button as much as possible. bit of beeping would have helped me out, but yeah, no, it all worked out in the end, so it was good.
Either way, matter with the adversity that you had throughout the entirety of the race, you were still able to come down, get a P number 2 on the night. But congratulations, getting another solid finish here from The Rock. But Mr.
Thanks,
Matt
boys.
Danson, if there's
Yeah, thank you.
anybody on that number 30 machine, like, give a shout out to Mr. Dancy Dance. The floor is now yours.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, obviously a bit spewing to get another sort of podium without picking up a win. We've got to get some wins soon. Brad's on my case about being washed, so hopefully I can get some of them as the year goes on. But shout out to my wife Alex. Obviously she holds down the fort while with the boys while I'm racing. So shout out to her. Obviously I'll go in now and see them. Probably got to read some bedtime books, I'm sure. But shout out everyone that puts. Obviously as a result, shout out Wesley and Oliver. Hope they're having a great time inside. Shout out you guys for putting on everything, all the organisation and the commentary that goes on. I think it was a bit disappointing from display from us as drivers for the first half, but hopefully we're able to put on a bit of a ding dong kind of battle there in that second half. And it would have been pretty exciting, I think, closing down and racing for that win. So thanks to everyone, and see you next week. I'll take the reins on that one, Dean. Dean in production is just asking whether the kids designed the paint. Maybe I should be ashamed to admit this one. No, this is a Matty D creation. It's actually from the throwback, and I've not changed it yet. But this was an old scheme I ran for a couple of years, from like 2018 through to about 2021 or 2020 or something like that. But it just it was a bit of a rage bait kind of a paint scheme. Started out with day on one side, night on the other, and just lots of cute animals and a rainbow just to really top it off. Used to also, because Alex was vegan, my missus, I used to have some sort of go vegan messaging on there just to really put the cherry on top. So people will always be trying to wreck me, but it's just a bit of a throwback to that. It's always a fun. I mean, it brings me good luck every time I run it. I do pretty well, so maybe I just keep it on there.
Well, at least we now got the explanation on the truck scheme there for Mr. Matt Danson. But again, congratulations on the P2 here tonight. Can't wait to see what you do in the weeks following as we get to gearing towards the chase for the championship. But that's going to do it for our second place finisher. We're going to go ahead and move on to our third and final podium finisher. That's going to be Bad Brad Newman in the number one Lobs Esports Chevy Silverado. Brad, you were towards the front, you're in the middle, you're towards everywhere. You were making it three wide as soon as you possibly could, going into turns number 1 and 2, 3 and 4, back stretch, front stretch, possibly even pit road. But what more did you absolutely need to keep yourself up there towards the front with Zach Kerr and Matt Danson towards the end of that race to get yourself the first win of the season this year and to add to more of your totals in wins?
Thanks, mate. Probably just track position. The car was quick. Felt like the car was pretty good, and I was racing pretty hard to get that track position, because whenever I was up behind, whether it was like Matt or Zach or anyone really, when I'd get close, it was just quite hard to keep the front end into the corner. So I really was trying to get track position, but otherwise nothing more. The car was pretty good tonight, so is what it is.
Congratulations, Brad, on the podium tonight. I haven't spoken to you in the booth for a little while. You weren't set up with your setup tonight. You weren't set up with your setup tonight. You weren't given a tractor or an excavator or a bulldozer or anything.
No, we actually had a debrief about that recently. It turns out the cars were the same. The only thing that was different was the steering ratio. So Jared, he heard he's not going to be around Tuesday because he's been a naughty boy, and I heard he's going to a go-kart shop to get a little small steering wheel to have join the church of the small steering ratio. But no, I had a quick car tonight. I thanks to the guys at Nitro, I had a really good truck tonight. So thanks to them, thing was pretty good.
Yeah, definitely going to see what you can bring out next week as we get ready to gear down for the season. But Mr. Bad Brad, if there's anybody on that number one machine to like give a shout out to, the floor is yours.
Just you guys as always for putting these events on. Dean Thrower for the help he puts in when I do these races. Geordie Marcon, I brought in a specialist Rockingham coach, and he was talking me through a lot of the Rockingham specific things, and the rest of the guys at Lobs Esports. Thank you.
All right, that's going to be it for our podium position here tonight. First, second, and third all got their interviews here tonight. Nigel, 200 laps up, 200 laps down here at the Rock. We cut it close on time, but was able to get the race done completely. Want to give a big shout out to CT Electrical for coming on board and helping present this entire race season for the Australian NASCAR Truck Series. Nigel, I want to give a big shout out to you for helping me in the broadcast booth tonight as Wes is going back to West Virginia. Take me home to the place as he gets ready to gear up for Flow Racing this weekend. Dean up in the broadcast booth in the production trailer, giving you guys the beautiful cameras each and every single week as we gear up for the chase for the championship. Any final thoughts and final going away words from Rockingham here tonight, Nigel?
In the end, turned out to be a decent race. The last 50 laps was great with the top 5 putting on a show for everyone at home. Yeah, looking forward to seeing what we've got for Bristol next week. X Series Tuesday night. Truck Series Thursday night. It's going to be great.
Yeah, you see there, Bristol going to take place over Kansas next week. Coda and then Pocono leg of the season before we go over to the chase for the championship. And then you got Texas, Watkins Glen, Dover, Charlotte, Nashville, and Michigan to end it all out. But that's going to do it for myself and Nigel in the broadcast booth. Dean hopped in, running the camera angles and giving you guys the beautiful views of Rockingham. I'm Dylan McDonald in the broadcast booth. Make sure you guys take care. Brush your hair.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or